Alright. What's up, everybody? I have a very special couple of games to cast with you today. We've got Maru playing Protoss in a 2v2 tournament with his best friend Ryung. They are two Terran brothers, always sharing builds. They're basically attached at the hip at tournaments whenever you see them there. And they're playing up against Astrea from Alpha X and Scarlett from Shopify Rebellion. This is part of the the Olimoleague Invitational number 16, which was played just a few days ago. And essentially, there was also another team with Dark and Cure, I believe it was, as well, playing with them. And there was 3 different show matches between the different teams, and it was like each map you win a certain amount. Now, the games go for a very long time. I looked through them already, and they're fantastic, and they're very fun. But I was like, oh, it's a bit too much. It'd be a couple hours of videos to cast all of them. So what I've got selected for you today is a couple of strategies to show off how disgusting some of these builds are from these 2v2 players. So Maru is going to be opening up in a 2v2 game with a Nexus first. How bloody gross is that? I mean, I was like, wait, what? You can do that? But on this map, you can, because you've got a shared base. And look, Astrea comes in to scout. Can't even scout because Maru blocks him with a pylon. There's already a barracks and a depot. And basically, it's Ryung's job to keep Maru safe. And Maru's just going to go straight double gas behind that and macro up. Meanwhile, Astrea is going for a more standard 1-gate expand and a scout, right? Maru and Ryung didn't scout at all. They didn't scout, so they're being so greedy, and they're getting away with it right now. Scarlett has gone hatch first in the back, so she's taken the nice safe base in the back, which I would actually argue you should leave to the Protoss player, because the Zerg is going to have an easier time defending their base than the Protoss is. But either way, Astrea does take that front base so far, smiting that second gas. Does accidentally have 4 on gas there, so a slight mistake for him. And it is going to be a pretty quick command center, so it's barracks, 1 racks expand off a Reaper for Ryung, but he's going to float it to the low ground, and that way they can defend just with a wall off and no actual units. And he's going to go second barrack, so it looks like a 2-1-1 style build. Meanwhile, Maru, the moment the natural finishes, is immediately going to go for a gas. What the hell? Hello? Reaper's going to come on in, sees the expansion in the battery. The Adept does push it back, takes 2 hits, but Ryung keeps it alive for now. And oh! Astrea commits to the shade. A big mistake. That exposes the main base. Oh, this is a big mistake for Astrea. Ryung is going to punish this. Ryung comes in, gets a probe. Can he get a second one? If he goes in the mineral line, those probes should have attacked him there, but oh! A bit slow to do it. Now, remember, this is played on the Korean server. Astrea and Scarlett both live in Korea, for those who don't know. So no lag excuses for the American fanboys there. 2 probes go down for the Reaper. Meanwhile, Stargate is on the way. Did he scout that? He did. He scouted that. That's huge. That is huge. So Maru responds by going double Stargate, and he already had such an economy boost. Maru's on 34 probes. Astrea's on 27. For those who don't know, in team games, Phoenix rule supreme. If you can get Phoenix control, then you can pick off so many units because there's unlimited harassment you could do. You can pick off Overlords when there's Zerg players around. They're so good for giving full map vision, full map control. And the thing is, Maru's already so far ahead on the workers, 7 workers up and going 2 Stargates. Even though there's a second Stargate coming down for Astrea as well, he's simply behind on that. So unless Scarlett gives him money or gets some Hydras or something to help even things out, he's going to be behind on the Phoenixes. So the first Phoenix pops out slightly faster for Astrea, but already double Phoenix production getting chronoed for Maru is looking great. Now this 2-1-1 is getting underway. The stim's halfway done. We'll be swapping the starport over and building medevacs in the near future as well. And looks like we are going to see a bit of a push out for Scarlett. Just a handful of Zerglings, just 4 Zerglings. She's also just going to scout the gold base in the bottom, make sure they don't sneakily take that one. Phoenix poking forward for Astrea. But of course, you've got to be really careful. Phoenix are very high damage units. They do double damage versus other light units like themselves. So whoever wins a fight, it'll spiral very quickly because you lose damage output as you lose units. Now, Maru, pretty good starter step so far. The Adept is going to move backwards. He's going to shade forwards here, actually. Takes on 4 Zerglings with ease. He's even going to track that one. Oh my god, 4 Zergling kills. Very nicely done. And the Phoenix here just kind of looking for that Adept. They are going to come forward. It's 5 Adepts, 5 Phoenix versus 5. Maru takes the lead for the first time this game. 6 versus 5 in his favor. Does he have +1 air weapons or anything? No, it doesn't look like it. 3rd Stargate for Astrea. Wow. But he's only just now got his 4th gas. Astrea's on 41 workers. Oh, Maru catches one of his Phoenix. Okay, he gets one of them. Can he get a second? Oh, nice micro by Maru. He gets a 3rd. Oh my god, and a fourth. Oh, he just killed 4 Phoenix for none. Oh, get wrecked, nerds. And guess what? The double drop is picked up as well. He can pair up the double drop of Marines with the Phoenix at the same time. And here we go, more Phoenix are coming out. But even with a shield battery, okay, they managed to kill one of his. Not bad, managed to get one. Astrea doing very good micro. But oh my god, the Marines are going to be so hard to deal with. There's not enough Zerglings yet. Scarlett only has 12 Zerglings. This is a disaster for Astrea and Scarlett. The 2-1-1 has such good damage. And because you've got air control, you can just pick up and leave whenever you want. There's nothing they can do about that. This is a disgusting position. Maru and Ryung doing so damned well. The Phoenix pick up a few probes, but Astrea punishes. Astrea's micro is really good. You can tell he's very experienced in these situations. Despite that, though, he's just got less units to work with. 5 versus 8. The Ling Bane gets on top. The Marines just pick up and go, hey, killed your Nexus. Now I'm just going to drop on the low ground. And there's no way the Phoenix can win the battle. It's still 8 versus 5 Phoenix, shooting the Metamax to do a bit of damage, but the Marines will destroy the Phoenix in an actual fight. Focuses down some Banelings, and then immediately just redrops on the high ground. Oh no, Scarlett trying to keep some Lings up there, but this is just savage. The moment they won the Phoenix fight, Maru and Ryung are like, get out of our game. They haven't even been reinforcing the Marines. It's the same 16 Marines. There's only about 10 of them left now, but they are doing so much damage. Oh, this is an absolute slaughter. Behind this, they're macroing up. They've got third bases up. They've got all the tech coming in. Finally, it gets cleaned up. Let's look at the units lost tab. Oh, dude. Astrea and Scarlett losing about, what was that? 3,000, almost 5,000 resources for about 2,600. So roughly 2-to-1 trading. You've got 10 Phoenix versus 5 on the map. Already you've got anion pulse crystals, which gives you plus a shit ton of range for those Phoenix. I think it's plus 2. I can't remember the exact numbers, sorry. The Banelings do get picked off, and these Phoenix outrange Astrea's Phoenix, so they can shoot them without getting shot back. There's nothing Astrea can do here except hopefully surprise him and get on top of them. Ooh, Astrea gets on top a little bit, but not all of his Phoenix will be able to attack. He takes a bit of a trade there. Remember, he's outnumbered and outranged. The Marines there as well. The Phoenix trying to pick up the Banelings. It's a lot of Banelings, though. Oh, Widowmine does get a shot off. Ryung does have to do a bit of a spready. The Phoenix, if they can pick up all the Banelings, that could be huge. Maru picking up a lot of the Banelings. That's such big value kills. The Marines re-dropping there. And every single Baneling of Scarlet's goes down. This is absolute domination. The way they micro the Marines and the Phoenix in tandem is brutal, man. 15 Phoenix versus 3, 23 Marines and Widowmines rallying across. There is a third base up for Ryung, a fourth base up for Maru, and already about to be mining. He's adding more Stargates. He's got his +2 air weapons on the way. The last Phoenix of Astrea are gone. All the Banelings are getting picked up. And look at that, the Marines wedging behind the mineral line. And this is why 2v2 is not fun when you play Maru and Ryung. Jesus! Such a greedy opening into utter domination. That was a next level opening. All right, well, that first game was brutal, but you can't get away with that much greed every game. And that did spiral once they got the Phoenix control. Let's see what they bring out in this next one. Maru in the top left, Protoss, and Ryung in the top right, Terran. Now, I have heard expert 2v2 players and people who play a lot of it for the longest time have been saying, oh, yeah, man, dude, you know, it's just... Terran Protoss is the best combo because if you have Mech and Skytoss, it's basically an unbeatable late game. It's, you know, it's really good. You get carriers and you have tanks underneath it, and you have Thors and you add some Tempests. Now, obviously, I'm not experienced enough, and I don't really think 2v2 is that figured out. But I feel like definitely Zerg can be super effective if you can get a big bit of damage done. And because their bases are spread out this time, it does feel like Maru and Ryung won't have as easy a time of just like, oh, we have a single wall off we share, and we could just basically, you know, rely on that for the whole thing. So could be a much harder game. Looks like Maru and Astrea both cross paths in the middle, both of them scouting, and it is going to be a 1-gate expand. Now, interestingly, Astrea doesn't wall off his ramp. Is that crazy? Or is he just like, nah, you got to fall back to shield battery anyway. I'd rather have my pylon somewhere where I can pull probes to defend it. I think there's actually an argument behind not walling off there that's not insane. Though my first inclination is you're actually crazy. I guess there's no Zerg. I think if he's playing against a Zerg, he would wall off. But against no Zerg, he's like, yeah, you know, anything but Speedling, Baneling getting in early, I'm fine with. So we've got a Nexus in the back for Maru, Nexus in the back for Astrea, hatch first. And of course, the command center for Ryung as well. Ryung does go for a second barracks. Are we seeing 2-on-1 again? Are we going to see 2-1-1 one more time? It's a solid build. You know, it's very popular in team games because the maneuverability of the medevac, when you have two different players who you can attack, they don't know which one you're going to attack. It's hard to defend. Reaper does run on forward so far. 2 more queens are on the way for Scarlett. We expect the Ling speed to start up. She just hit 100 gas. There we go. And Stargate goes down for Maru. Very quick Stargate, about 2 minutes 15 for him. And no Stargate. Warpgate has started for Astrea. Oh, look at this, the probe. Maru using the probe to get some damage done. And he actually ends up finishing off that probe kill. Ah, nice. I thought it was just going to be an assist, but Maru trades his probe for a worker of Astrea's. And Astrea drops the Twilight Council. Interesting. Okay, so Astrea's not going to contest the skies. He's like, screw it. I'm going to play ground. Now, it's kind of funny because Blinkstalkers can be pretty effective in team games. But, I mean, obviously, Charge Zealots in terms of raw firepower are great. Glaive Adepts can hit a pretty brutal timing, but on this map with the wall-offs, probably not the best idea unless you pair it up with something from Scarlett, who is, by the way, going Lair and 3 gases. Wow. As well as a third base. So she's playing a very greedy build, and I think that's a pretty good call as Maru goes up to Stargate. 4th gas geyser for him. Astrea and Maru on even workers this time. So we're going to see, how does this work when you're not so far ahead? Also, he's not making Warp Gate. Notice Maru saved 50 gas by not doing that. Now, for those who are wondering, Maru's Protoss is actually about 6.5k on the Korean ladder, I've heard people say in the past. I don't know how much he practices or how up-to-date it is, but in the past when I've watched him off-race a tiny little bit here or there, it's been very, very next level. So, much like Raynor, I do believe he's insanely good with his off-race. Scarlett's Protoss is kind of insane as well, of course, in the past, but she hasn't been actively practicing it for years, whereas Maru and Dark are the 2 players I've always heard about. Whenever I said Raynor's the best off-racer in the world out of everybody, no one's as good as him, or Scarlett I used to say before that, there was always Korean fans, people who are fans of the Koreans being like, mate, Maru and Dark are the best. And I was like, really? I never get to see them do it though, you know? I don't get to see them except screwing around a tiny little bit on their stream. Okay, this does look like a quick Spire. Now, Astrea's got a proxy gate. The problem is a single player with Blinkstalkers, I don't know if they can overwhelm Phoenix and a Terran, especially with 2-on-1. So I don't know if Astrea and Scarlett's strategy is going to link up as well as they would like. I like the idea of putting on Blink Aggression while Scarlett goes into Mutas, but I mean, not against Phoenix. She's going to have to play Corruptors. Corruptors could do well. The problem is they're going to have a tanky but low damage output army, and Corruptors can't attack ground. So the thing is, the Phoenix Marine combo, remember how brutal that is? Part of that's because the Marine damage is so high. Okay, tries to catch some of the Phoenix, doesn't quite really get anything done just yet. Is going to deny this expansion, which is not bad. That Adept hopefully does finish that probe off. Oh, getting a Phoenix maybe? Just barely gets out. You got to watch out, the Marines are here. This is the problem. Okay, this is the problem, because if those Phoenix jump on top and lift, you're held in place and the Marines can just stim on your face and kill you. So this is the problem. If they can just... Look at that. That's like 8 Phoenix. They pick up 8 Stalkers. The Marines stim on top. They all die. Oh, man. This is such high-risk plays. He picks up his own probe. Maru picks up his own probe to save it. Astrea comes in, snags it anyway, and blinks away. But he's playing a very high-risk game of cat and mouse. And I honestly think he's got to realize he's the mouse. He's got to realize he's the mouse, and he's got to get out of there. Scarlett's going Corruptor Ling Bane, which will actually be really good once she gets the Bane speed up, but her Baneling Nest is pretty far behind. I've got to wonder what would happen if she'd just gone Roaches. I think a Roach push with Blinkstalkers would annihilate this, because the Blinkstalkers can beat the Phoenix and the Roaches can beat the Marines. I think that would be amazing. I mean, yes, he has some tanks, but still... Oh, no! Oh, no, Astrea! I don't know if he should have recalled there or what, but he gets caught! Oh, no! Oh, my God! Jesus! Oh, 6 Stalkers going down. That's very expensive. Remember, each Stalker costs more than 3 Marines. That's like losing 18 Marines there. That's so bad. Now, it is Phoenix versus Corruptors. I think the Corruptors are in high enough numbers they can take this fight. But you got to be careful, because the Phoenix can move and shoot. Maru can, like, pull back the weak one, hide it in underneath the other Phoenix. It's very hard to take them all down. You got to watch out for the Marines as well. Scarlett, no! No, Scarlett, what are you doing? Oh, no! The combo firepower of the Marines and the Medivacs is just disastrous there. Dude, I mean, you can see how ridiculously good the Marine Phoenix is. The moment that stuff fires on you, it's devastating. And it looks like the Stalkers and the Corruptors here, they're trying to do some stuff. But man, this is such a good setup from Ryung and Maru, and they're just holding this little choke point in the middle. Meanwhile, let's look at the work account. Maru 60, Ryung 50, Scarlett 71, Astrea 65. Astrea and Scarlett are ahead. They're actually ahead on the economy, but their armies are just not as powerful. And after losing 4 Corruptors and 6 Stalkers already, it's a bit of a problem. But if they can get enough Banelings to roll over, I still think they could do it. And we're going into Storm and Zealots. So they're actually, if they can survive for a bit longer, Astrea and Scarlett have a better economy right now. And that could scale really well. Maru on 66 workers now is going into Fleet Beacon, air weapon upgrades, adding Phoenix range. And Scarlett's Corruptor count is very low. She's only got 6 Corruptors versus 14 Phoenix. At which point I think it's way too low. She's trying to get lots of upgrades right now, which will be very good for the future. But at this moment, this base is in peril, and the Marines have already bruised her up a little bit. The Stalker's trying to fight this off. Hatchery gets cancelled. Scarlett is, of course, on the back foot in that regard, but she's still got 3 bases full of workers. The Phoenix can always dive in there and kill all the workers. The Marine tank, happy to push forward on its own. Oh, this is very ambitious. Maru and Ryung might be getting ahead of themselves now. I think if they go any further forward on creep, the Banelings are going to destroy this army. Astrea and Scarlett need to pounce, though, and they need to do it soon, because the other team in the top left, the Koreans, are expanding way too quickly. They're using this pressure. They're expanding way too quickly, and he's got 19 Phoenix. He's now got range. He's got +1 finished, which counteracts the +1 armor of Scarlett. She's only got 9 Corruptors. That's not enough. She needs the Stalkers here. The Stalkers blink forward and take out a few of the Phoenix. Good moves. The Stalkers need to go help, though. Astrea, you got to go help. The Storm plus the Ling Bane can deal with the ground army. They have to go. Astrea and Scarlett are playing way too scared right now. They need to just pull the trigger on this. The Stalkers need to go fight these Phoenix. The Corruptors are getting hammered. He's going to blink on the tanks. That's an okay move, but, oh, man, the tanks were trying to focus down the High Templar there. Ryung with some very fancy maneuvers. The Phoenix, that's what you need to deal with these Stalkers. He's trying to hunt down the medevacs. Does get a few of them, but my God, the Phoenix are let loose on her Overlords. That's a huge problem. Scarlett's at 200 supply of Overlords. She has 23 Overlords, 22 Overlords, 21 Overlords, and Astrea's Mineral Line. Astrea's Mineral Line. Oh, he's on 82 workers before this happens, but he's going to lose so many. The Phoenix are going to move down into his natural as well. They've got pretty much unlimited lifts. They might even be able to fight the bloody Stalkers, to be honest. He's going to pull back to the corner and recall those bad boys. Can the Stalkers get a kill? No, not even one there. And look at that, the gold base for Scarlett. Her new 4th base gets taken down. The proxy gate's been found. Ryung's cleaning that up. Maru is into carrier production. 3 carriers at a time, +2 air at a time. He's got another Stargate, and the Phoenix are running around. They're going to clean up that Overlord, and then no doubt just be diving through the bases, harassing. So the Phoenix, just this amazing mobile harassment force. You know what a big funny thing is, though? Storm, and the feedback's pretty good for Phoenix, because you can actually one-shot full energy Phoenix. Storm also does decent damage versus them. Problem, Stalkers don't do much damage. So if he could pick up the High Templar, that's actually really annoying. I've played PvPs before where I've been trying to use High Templar, and if they just swoop in and pick them all up, that could be a problem, especially with the scan. With the scan, he sees exactly where they are. The Archons will help. Archons will help. Here we go. He's going for it. Maru, you psychopath. He dives on the High Templar. He doesn't get all of them, but most of them. He does cop a Psy Storm and a bunch of Stalker Archon shots. Fungal from the flank. Great fungal there by Scarlett. But I don't know, there's no Psy Storm left, and the Marine Ball is so scary. It's this combo of very fragile units. Whoa! Oh, Astrea comes in with a big boy flanking Storm. This army is so weak to fungal, so weak to Psy Storm, but a big evacuation. Oh my God, it feels like Maru and Ryung are playing with fire, just running this super fragile Mass Marine Phoenix army around. But he's getting into mass carriers behind it, and I think that basically counteracts everything Astrea and Scarlett have. Archon, Stalker, Storm cannot really contest that. Corruptors will do great. Scarlett's building a lot of Infestors and Vipers for that late game efficiency, but having been pushed off a 4th base for so long, she's just got her gas mining back up there. Her gold base has just got back up. Astrea's taken a 5th base in the top right. He's expanded all the way down the right side, but the carrier count is very frightening. She's trying to go Ultras as well. I do think Scarlett should do nothing but mass Corruptor right now and let Astrea handle the ground, because Astrea can beat the Terran ground army with Psy Storm, Archon, Zealot. He could do all right. He's got to just be able to land the storms, especially with some fungal to help out. That could be huge. Her Infestor's rallying out in a bit of an awkward fashion. She's got to be careful. I think Mass Corrupt is what she needs, though, right? She needs to deal with Maru while Astrea deals with Ryung. The thing is, I feel like Maru and Ryung just keep bullying They always try to find someone and isolate them, jump on their shit, kill it all, and then run away before the other person can do anything. They're always like grabbing these little opportunistic fights and darting in and darting out, and they're not afraid to poke in. And look at this, Astrea's out on his own a little bit. He's trying to zone back the tank army, but he can't fight without the Corruptors, and the Corruptor count is just way too low. 8 Corruptors out, 8 more on the way right now, and Ryung just shoving forwards very ambitiously. Astrea's going to go for a big Zealot Archon run by, but look at that. The wall of cannons greets him. Oh, Abduct comes in. She abducts 2 carriers. Great fungal parasitic bomb combo! Whoa! Scarlett lands the wombo combo, and the Phoenix get absolutely destroyed, but there's still a lot of carriers left over. The Archon's trying to fight that, but I think they're out of Psystorms already. There's still a lot of Marines left in the back. The carrier's pretty low on interceptors, but the Corruptor count has been absolutely ransacked. These other Zealot Archon High Templar are being forced back. They were not able to break through the cannons on the left side, but they get caught. A Psystorm lands on the carriers, but that army does go down, and the mass of Marines, 63 Marines. Ryung, the absolute savage. I never build Marines in late game, in team games. I always think they're too vulnerable to all the splash damage. Ryung is like, dude, I know how to micro, and I have Maru's carriers watching my back. I'm just gonna mass the men with the guns. That's what we're gonna do, mate. We're just gonna mass the men with the guns, and so much static behind it. Oh my god, this is a disaster. The Corruptors try to dart in. I think they might have got a medevac there. Oh, damn. Just feels like Maru and Ryung getting momentum early on, ever since catching those Stalkers and denying Scarlett's 4th base, really controlling the pace of the game. Scarlett comes in with a big fungal. Minus 400! 400! Oh, she's getting another fungal. A couple of these carriers will fall. The problem is, can they deal with the ground army? The Protoss army's already gone down. She's got some Lings. She's got some Infestors, but they're going to have to tap out. And Maru and Ryung say the man with gun. 2-1-1 plus mass Phoenix equals disgusting strategy. I gotta say I agree with them. That was really disgusting. If you guys have been enjoying some of these displays of exceptional skill, check out some of the other games on screen. Give them a click. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to check out the Patreon down below and copy these builds on ladder, execute them terribly, and have 0 success with them. And then post in the comments, be like, yeah, your build's bad. You have to be Maru to pull it off. Thanks for watching, guys. See ya. Bye.